Small boats, such as this, lie broken upon the sands of this isle. This man appears to have been shielding his eyes from the very thing that took life and left only stone. Lord Poseidon spared neither the mighty Argo nor her oarsman Danaus, whose once tanned flesh is now made of the same sharp rocks about him. Having survived the wreck of the Argo, Agamedus, a brave comrade, fell to bewitchment and is now naught but a perch for birds. Here stands strong Argonus, warder of Ocalia and friend to all who put oar to Poseidon's dark waters. Now nothing more than sodden planks, this skiff is a home to small crabs and fish. This statue appears to be under construction. Considering the dire circumstances, it may remain so indefinitely. The simple robe of this man betrays him as an attendant of some god. Which one, however, is unclear. The blight of which Athena spoke has left a trail of sorrow in its wake. Never again shall this beast of burden pull cart or dray beneath a scorching sun. Of men who would share the toils of his brethren, none compare to fair Asterion. This wayward pig is concerned only for that which will feed its large belly. Nothing of interest can be found on this ordinary chicken. Any speculation on how this chicken might be tied to the events of late is completely unwarranted. This chicken wanders aimlessly upon the sod, as chickens are wont to do. Clearly caught unawares, this simply dressed man hinders entrance into or egress from this building, This creature had nary a chance to escape its petrified fate. In contrast to the fine statuary on this isle, this table is poorly constructed. Although no fire burns within, this clay stove is still warm to the touch. Silver drachmas are not uncommon, but the scoring on this piece is unusual. 'Twould be more fitting were it found within Hades' temple. The great Phidias of Athens himself could not craft a sculpture so lifelike, yet lifeless. The look of horror on this mother's face is a thing to haunt dreams and drive men mad. Neither man nor woman is granted mercy from the scourge that stalks this isle. The bane of this isle has claimed both the young and the elderly without prejudice. Uncovered food such as this is sure to draw flies. This hide has been set out to dry, no doubt to later be used as clothing or bedding. This sack likely contains grain, or perhaps corn. This parchment is inscribed with 3 illustrations of native flora. Next to each is a name and a brief description. Datura, purple trumpet flower. Black nightshade, white flowers with berries. Mandragora, green leaves with red flowers. Near the bottom is a drawing of fire, and within it, a single word: sleep. Argonus takes the newly created mixture and drops it into the small pouch. This sack, there is little of interest on this hastily crafted shelf. Sadly, pleading for one's life will not deter that which relishes in bringing both horror and death. Clothes have been set to dry on this clothesline. This large shelf is stocked with various vases and bowls. Animal skins have been laid across this small wooden bed. Tireless winds blow past the form of fair Argon, who was well skilled at inferring from sun and star the stormy winds. The form of a child, still in mid-stride, is no more than a lifeless statue within tall grass. The mosaic, now complete, depicts an epic battle reminiscent of the tales of Jason and the Spartoi. Neither discarded coins nor any telltale markings can be seen within this fount. Having endured sore afflictions and beached ships, 'tis sad to see Arius, son of Bias and brother of Teleos, in such a state. 'Tis Argonus, whose lyre, charmed stubborn rocks upon the mountains and the course of rivers. This shallow pond reflects tall stones, set about it as if to keep the water captive within this golden veil. Phineus called these beasts the dogs of Zeus. 'Tis an apt description for something that would eat what even most creatures would trample underfoot. Whether the golden skin of these apples was transmuted or grew as such is just one of the many mysteries upon this isle. Argonus reaches for the golden apple, but a monstrous hiss from above stays his hand. Zetes, the son of Boreas, shall stand battle-ready for all eternity. The eyes of this man appear as if pleading, begging to be released from a stone prison. Much like her life, this elderly priestess's torch has not only been snuffed, but petrified. Whatever prayers of supplication this woman lifted to the gods went unheeded and apparently unanswered. While impressive statues dedicated to the goddess Hera are not uncommon, the dearth of pious attendants is troubling. Provoked by the wandering sailor, the great statue of Hera moves, her unblinking eyes falling upon Argonus.
Who are you, Argonus? Historian? Storyteller? Map-maker? Of these things I have no need. 'Tis a warrior's heart I seek.
With that, the goddess turns away and becomes stone once more. Sword raised, Argonus calls upon Hera, praying the great goddess will reveal herself. The mother of Ares obliges the sailor when the statue slowly comes to life and stone lips part.
Argonus,
She says,
stand where you are and move no closer, for you are on holy ground. I have watched you from afar. I have seen your mettle. I have felt your anguish. Did you know that the gods feel anguish as well? Perhaps not for fallen comrades, but certainly for that which has been taken from us. Zeus's pets have taken to roost, defiling my golden orchard, which now lies fallow. I need but one warrior who would reclaim it. Reclaim my honor. Would the name of Argonus be immortalized thus?
Argonus says nothing and raises his sword once again. Hera nods even as the sailor feels her eyes move from his face to his chest, and then finally resting upon his weapon.
But this sword is ill-suited for such a task. Its blade is dulled, but I will grind it fine. Its tip broken, but I will make it like new.
Hera transforms the weapon, reshaping the steel with nothing more than a wave of her hand. As Argonus marvels at the restored sword, Hera reverts to stone, but not before a final warning.
Prove yourself, sailor of the Argo, and you shall be rewarded. Fail in this, and not even Athena can save you.
Whatever has passed, and whatever lies before me, I shall never forget the commission laid upon my shoulders by the Queen of the Gods herself. The marvel of Hera's appearance alone would have rendered this simple man dumbstruck, if not for the tales told to me by trusted Argonauts. For I have sailed with men who consorted with gods long before my sandaled foot touched bewitched sand. They have set tall sails on dark rising swells that no other ship has traversed. They have gazed over wooden bulwarks at impossible sights and have seen the dust of vast armies hide the sun. Under starry skies I stood, beneath hero Jason's shadow, listening to their stories, fashioning maps of isles that guarded primordial treasures, archiving grand quests steeped in truth and bound for legend. Tales to rival those told in the halls of my fathers. But those things are beyond me now. Mighty Argo rests forever upon a strange shore, her keel shattered, her memories carried aloft by dark waves, and lost to boundless waters. Enough, for today is ripe with troubles of its own. If the gods wish to make themselves known to a simple sailor, to call upon me with great labors, I shall be at the ready and face them as my brothers did, as an Argonaut.
The soft white wool of this ewe has been transformed into grey pitted stone. Argonus drives the enchanted sword into the Hydra's mouth. But even using considerable force, the sailor of the Argo can extract no more than 3 of the beast's teeth. As if awaiting the first act of a great play, a circle of tall, silent stones surround Argonus as he reaches for the teeth of the Hydra. With a sweep of his arm, he tosses them into the shallow water, like a farmer sowing his field after winter's winds have faded. The ground trembles beneath the sailor's feet, followed by an uneasy silence. Then, one by one, skeletal foot soldiers rise, their stalwart shields bearing the mark of the very thing that birthed them. The undead warriors look to the trees and move as one toward the harpies that desecrate their branches. They engage the beasts with fury, raising sword and spear, staining the green sod below with splatters. After a short skirmish, the dogs of Zeus relent and are driven from the dense boughs and into grey skies. Victorious, the skeletons remain, ensuring the safety of the goddess's orchard. The skeletal soldier stands at attention, perhaps guarding the grove, perhaps awaiting further orders. Sword in hand, this skeleton moves silently beneath the trees, patrolling Hera's orchard. This skeleton remains, ensuring that the harpies will never again alight upon these golden boughs. It takes naught but a few heartbeats for the statue to stir, and the mother of all gods to awaken.
Well done, sailor of the Argo,
Hera says.
You have driven the harpies from the boughs of my orchard. Their broad wings have taken them into the skies, and their lamentations are heard no more. And what is your reward for such courage? Gold that rests within your palm? Your name remembered in my great halls? Yes, it shall be these things.
The goddess says as she returns to stone.
But step outside this place and see if it can be so much more.
Gazing skyward, Argonus witnesses Hera's promise glide down to the earth upon wings of purest white. Golden apple in hand, Argonus approaches the stallion with trepidation. But the sailor's worries prove unfounded when the horse gently shakes his snow-white mane and accepts the gift. Sensing a kinship, Argonus straddles the great winged horse, and for a few moments at least, leaves the burdens of the world far below him.